everyone. This week we are getting started with week 9. I know I say this every week, but I can't believe it's already week 9 in the semester. The semester is flying by. So this week, what are we doing? Let's scroll down to week 9. This week we will continue our labor project number 3 and develop our skills through research. So let's go ahead and take a look at our labor project 3 handout. And remember, we are working on labor project number 3, which the big project is our major research paper. Read this, write that, not your textbook. And we will be working on activities and tasks related to this project each week. And then at the end of week 13, you will submit the final revised polished essay. So here is all of the information about the assignment. So please take the time to carefully read through this. It has how many words you need, the requirements for the kinds of text that you choose, what the assignment is. So please read that carefully so you understand kind of the overall project we're working towards. So this week we are in week 9 and we are going to start our research this week. So we're going to read some suspense and start our research. I've got a couple of short stories here, Lamb to the Slaughter and The Yellow Wallpaper, for you to read. I am a big fan of Spooky Month, and these are kind of spooky stories that I thought would be compelling. And then we also have some information about MLA documentation because that's what we use for our class. There's also a library databases walkthrough. I included this link to a kind of fun reading of The Yellow Wallpaper. It's like 40 minutes long, so you don't have to watch all of it, but I encourage you to watch some of it because it's kind of fun. So for this week, one of the biggest tasks is to get remote access to the library databases, and I've given you step-by-step instructions for how to do that. And then we will spend some time reviewing the MPC library databases. And I want you to get in there and explore and see what you can find. Look to see if you can find books and short stories and what resources can you find that you could potentially use in your essay. So you will have a reading response this week based on these 2 short stories, and that will be in our week 9 discussion forum. And then this week I want you to research. There is not a specific assignment due on Sunday this week, but I want you to spend the extra time this week working on your research. So different genres of literature around the theme or topic that you've chosen, and this will help you to focus on the annotated bibliography that's due next week. And of course, as every week, your labor log is due at the end of the week. So let's take a look at what this looks like on Moodle. On Moodle, we see our week 9 discussion forum. And we can see this is what we're looking at. We've done these discussions before. This week we're just reading something different, so our discussions will be based on this week's reading assignment. So I listed several resources, the MLA research and information, library database walkthrough, and steps for logging into the library databases, some information about or access to the databases, and that's what you should be working on. So I just want to remind you that the research that you're doing this week is based on the prompt. So the final essay will be 2,000 words and include a discussion of at least 8 sources that we haven't read this semester, representing at least 3 different genres. So genres, remember, are types of literature. So short stories, poems, historical texts, literary criticisms, science fiction, all those kinds of things are genres of literature. And we're looking at a theme, issue, or event that's important to you and that you believe students in English 102 should learn more about. The body of your essay will be made up of evidence from those pieces of literature, so quotes, paraphrases, summaries, things like that, to make the case that the subject is important and relevant to English 102 students. So that is what you should be researching this week, different kinds of literature, interrelated texts. If you don't find anything in the NPC databases, that's okay. You can also use Google to search for this. So one thing I recommend when starting this search is just typing your theme or your topic and the kind of literature you're looking for into Google. So I am a big fan of suspense novels. So I think suspense is a type of genre. And maybe the topic that I think people should learn about is race. So I'm just going to go to Google and type in suspense, novels, and racism and see what comes up. So first thing we get is crime, suspense, and thriller reads by Black authors when no one is watching. So I would start by looking here and see if any of those books sounded relevant to me or interesting. I might also, one thing I think I would search for poems about racism. And then I'd start looking through to see what I think should be included in this anthology that I'm compiling for our class, for our essay. So that is an example of how you can get started with this and what your research might look like this week. As always, we have student hours every week, 3 times a week. This week, the Tuesday session will be canceled. I will not have the Tuesday session, but we will still have the Monday session and the Wednesday session. So feel free to pop on into that. And if you have other questions, just shoot me an email.